It is official. Canada has a new Prime Minister in less than a week in office. Mark Carney is already making policy changes that are affecting the Canadian real estate landscape. Less than 24 hours ago at time of recording, he has slashed GST for first-time homebuyers on purchases under $1 million. Is he doing this to buy votes? We'll get into that a little bit later. And how's that really going to affect the landscape in Canada and especially here locally in Vancouver? When we talk about Vancouver real estate, what is Mark Carney doing, speaking with Bob Rennie, the Condo King, when it comes to opening up the market to the foreign market and using Canadian taxpayers' dollars to subsidize foreign developers to get into the real estate space here to open up the economy, and what's going on with the pre-sale market and the bubbles that are starting to really implode when it comes to the GTA area as well as the Vancouver pre-sale and condo market, which is in a lot of trouble. And more importantly, what are some of the policies and what can be done to help with the real estate shortage that's going to be coming down the pipeline in years 4, 5, and 6 down the road, which I've outlined before. My name is Kyle Mark, your Vancouver realtor, and I'm excited to get into all of these things here to help with your due diligence and how to navigate what's going on in the real estate landscape across Canada and more specifically here in Vancouver. Is Carney saving the market or paving the way for an affordability crisis down the road? You may think with this recent policy change that he is here to help with affordability, but it is interesting as the Conservatives have been asking the Liberals to change this for a long time. And now that we have an election that's coming up in the next few months, now the Liberals have finally flip-flopped on that procedure. So is he buying votes? Is it really going to help? But here in Vancouver, it's not going to really make a dent when you look at the average price point for single family homes, because this is really supposed to help with single detached purchases. It's not meant for condos. When we talk about housing affordability, we're talking about places where people can have a family and grow into a home for many, many years. If you can get into a condo, great, but it doesn't really help you with steps 2 or 3 as your family grows. If you look across Canada, $1 million mark, I was just on the phone with a friend of mine who's an agent in New Brunswick. Their average detached price point is $400,000. So this is fantastic. You can get a new construction detached home and save on that GST, which is 5%. But keep in mind, like I just mentioned, this is only for new construction builds. GST is only applicable in new construction or properties that have been significantly renovated. So unless you're looking at pre-construction, it's not going to really help you here in Vancouver, with the average detached price point on Vancouver's east side around that $1.9 million mark. On Vancouver's west side, over $3 million. This is not going to get you anything but condos. So this will help first-time homebuyers, people getting into the marketplace. But there's also opportunity. I mean, anywhere where we can save money, I think that is great. So I'm glad that he did do something like this. So if you are a first-time homebuyer, this will save you that 5% on that purchase. So if you're buying close to that $1 million mark, that's going to save you around $50,000, which is great. So while in the short term, this is helpful, anywhere where a first-time homebuyer can save $10,000, $20,000, upwards of $50,000, that is great. But I think in fairness, because of the housing market, there's such a drastic change in terms of average price points. It should be on a tiered system and it should be based off a percentage of that home. So I think a better policy would be in areas like the GTA or here in Vancouver, that you have a sliding scale if you're looking in certain municipalities that have higher price points to get some of these exemptions so that it gives you a little bit more room to grow. So I think that is something that would be a lot more powerful, but something is definitely better than nothing. Moving on from the GST and back into the pre-construction market, I wanted to bring up this article from the Business Intelligence for BC, and right off the top it states, BC Condo King Bob Rennie pitches incoming PM on foreign investment in rentals. As of right now, Canada has a foreign buyer ban. It's extended all the way into 2027. So we know that essentially 2016 was the pinnacle in a lot of this foreign money coming here into Vancouver. The last couple of years, it just has not been the case. We've had a foreign buyer ban that started in 2023 for 2 years, and then it was extended at the beginning of this year to 2027. There is still some workarounds if you're a PR or someone living abroad with citizenship, that you can get money out of a country to purchase here. But a lot of this movement in terms of foreign money has stalled, and that's why a lot of these pre-sale projects have been in trouble, because we don't have that foreign money. Bob Rennie, the Condo King, quote unquote, the Condo King, has been looking at the landscape here, and we know, just like the GTA is going through right now, the Vancouver condo market is in trouble. Developers are having problems selling these properties. There are developers defaulting. There's people not being able to complete on their projects. And all in all, it's starting to be a very bad position here in Vancouver. So I wanted to read a couple quotes so you understand what these conversations behind the scenes have been going on between Bob Rennie and Mark Carney. So Bob said, says, I'm working with Carney, surprise, and I'm trying to get a rental program in where people can buy, put into a 25-year pool, get a preferred rate from CMHC, and let's allow foreign buyers to buy it. They have to rent it out for 25 years, and it will show the world we are open for business, because right now, all of our governments are not showing that we're open for business, Rennie told the panel. So there are a couple of things that jump off the page to me right away that have some alarm bells ringing in the back of my mind. And the first one here is when he's talking about lending to foreign entities at a preferred rate from CMHC. And you can see right on top here, so you have a little bit of context, the taxpayer-backed Crown Corporation. So the CMHC is a Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation. It's a Crown Corporation that uses taxpayers, Canadian taxpayers' money, and lends it to those who are trying to get into the market. So when you are looking at insured mortgages from the CMHC, they are using taxpayers' money to give that lending, and they insure it so that people can get into the housing market. And while that does help a lot of people get into the marketplace, and I don't necessarily have a problem with opening up the markets to foreign entities, I think that was a mistake closing things down here. But I do have a problem when so many Canadians are having issues getting into the market. Why are you proposing preferred rates to foreign entities while not offering that to people here on Canadian soil to help them get into the market? So it seems a little bit self-serving here, and I do have an issue with that for sure. There are also a couple of issues here to go through as well. So Bob is presenting that these properties go into a 25-year pool. So what does that mean? 25-year pool, likely on the title, there will be some sort of covenant that is going to be stated that this property has to stay as a rental unit for 25 years. But it doesn't say if these people can come and buy and sell, or if it has to stay with one person indefinitely for 25 years. So there's some interesting things here in terms of what is going to go on and how is this going to affect things down the road. But as we all know, and like we highlighted here already before, the pre-construction markets here and the developers are in trouble, and they are looking for anything to get a little bit of stimulus. And with all these tariffs that are taking place right now, they're not going to want to operate here in Canada. The foreign money, the foreign investment is definitely going to be on pause until this trade war with the state subsides. So how this is going to affect Canadian real estate, and specifically Vancouver real estate, and I've highlighted it in some of my other videos, the alarming data that shows that construction is already coming to a stop. We're at peak construction levels, permits aren't keeping up, and housing starts are slowly starting to dwindle. And when we look at things down the road in 2028, 2029 and beyond, if we don't get some help here in some capacity, we are going to have a place where the condo market, the townhouse market, things of that nature are going to slow to a complete crawl, and there's going to be very little completions of new product coming to market. And that is something that is going to affect the Canadian and Vancouver real estate market big time by putting that upward pressure. As we make our way down the article here, just to show you what some other commentators are saying when they heard some of the panel talk that Bob Rennie was part of. Panwasi right here states that such a plan should create significant concerns around the issue of concentrating the country's economy and reinforcing the declining home ownership rate. Panwasi pointed out that foreign owners of Canadian rental units would mean money in the form of rent payments would be exiting the country. The plan is about as bonkers as one would assume, and similar to the one that got Canada into this position in the first place, stated Panwasi, who also questioned using CMHC as a backstop. And I have the same concerns here. I don't think that we should be using taxpayers' money to offer it to foreign entities who are making money and taking that money from Canada and then putting it offshore, and it's not staying in our economy. So there's a lot of holes here with this whole plan. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes about with these conversations and if this is actually something that's going to come to fruition. When it comes to these tariffs and Mark Carney's plan on how to combat them, in the next couple of days, he is meeting with the premiers to put a plan of attack forward on how we can mitigate this and come to some sort of resolution. The only articles of information that I have come across is just seeing some quotes about him saying that in times of trouble and turbulence, that he is the leader that we need as Canadians to lead the charge, that he is a fixer, that he is a closer. So when you put this information out to the public, we're going to hold you to account. So it will be interesting to see how he deals with not only the US, but China as well. Recently, China has also put together tariffs on Canada, and that is in retaliation for some tariffs that Canada has put on Chinese-made electric vehicles back in the fall. But these tariffs, the longer that they go on, it's going to stall things when it comes to the housing market. It's going to make things more difficult. With these housing starting to drop, with peak construction already in the rear view mirror, all these tariffs are going to do is make construction costs go up. It's going to make manpower go up, and essentially with the investment coming in is also going to stop. So there's not going to be as much of a need for people to come in here and build these projects. Pricing is going to increase with these construction costs, and then obviously it's going to get passed down to the consumer. So these are all things that we don't need when it comes to affordability within the real estate market here in Vancouver and Canada as a whole. So it will be interesting to see what Carney can do, if he can really do anything before the election coming up in the next couple months. So we are in a very sensitive time here in Canada. It is not ideal that we have a de facto prime minister who hasn't been voted in by the people, just by his party, and he's in power now making some decisions and making policy changes, but then we have an election coming up, and who is going to win that, and who is going to put those plans in progress as well. So any progress that Carney makes now, if he doesn't get elected, it's going to be a waste of time, because the Conservatives are going to pull some stuff away, and it's going to be going back to the drawing board, especially when it comes to the relationships with the US and China. Putting a bow on this whole thing, what does it mean for you in the here and now? If you're a buyer, and I've been saying this for essentially 14 or 15 months now, it is a great time to buy, especially if you are patient. With these pre-sale construction projects, there are a lot of developers that are just needing to make sales. So I'm getting emails, I'm getting text messages from developers. They are shortening up their deposit structure, they are discounting units, and I've seen one project in particular, they were selling their last remaining unit for $300,000 discount as well. So if you are ready to go, I always tell people, depending on where you're at in your journey, get that pre-approval done. It lasts for 120 days. If you need recommendations, shoot me a text, book a call with me in the description below. I can give you those recommendations, but at least have everything put together that if a good deal comes up, and there will be, that you are in a place to act. So whether you're looking at pre-construction or in the detached market, that's my favorite segment right now, especially on Vancouver's west side. It is very soft. There's essentially buyer market conditions everywhere. I was working with a client of mine, even looking out in Tsawwassen. It was at a 5% sales ratio. So the detached market right now is a really good place to find extreme value that I think you could find some really good appreciation in the next couple of years. And even through the townhouse market in certain segments is some good value too. As a whole, the attached market is performing a lot better than the detached market, but in the here and now, I would definitely aggressively pursue deals on lagging development units that are needing to be sold and in that detached market. So if you need any more information, book that discovery call. All my information is in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one.